Welcome to Farmhouse Fabrics, and Michelle just said this is going to be Interactive Friday. That's what we need from y'all. We need you to be interactive, and because it's so much easier for me if I'm standing here next to Regina or Connie or Stephanie or somebody, even though I've got my girls over here to read your comments and chat. I really do enjoy when I'm standing next to somebody and we can kind of play off of each other. But anyway, that's not the way. Today it's the Sally solo Sally show, and so I pulled several things to talk about, things that I've thought about over, I don't know, over the weeks, and sometimes I jot ideas down, and this is just a good time to do all the odds and ends. So anyway, welcome to Gavin Gush, and we're going to have a really great drawing today. And the neat thing is we had so many of you enter it, like I was cutting out names for a long time this morning, so I really do appreciate you commenting and entering. And so our drawing is going to be for a blouse pattern called the Raglin blouse. Look at our precious girl right here. This is the mommy that made this is Dulce, and what's her Instagram name?
Dyleen's Little Closet.
Yeah, Dyleen's Little Closet, and we love the things that she makes for her daughter. She does practice patterns for lots of different people, and you'll see her sweet little face in a lot of places, and including on our website. And she's going to be our feature girl in the fall issue of Classic Sewing in our ad. So we're really excited about that. But anyway, this little blouse pattern is called the Raglin blouse. And this is a pattern that Cindy Foose and I worked on in 2016 and 2017. And we actually had a class here where people tested the pattern, and they made real cute outfits, blouses and things like that. So you're gonna love this pattern. It's a size 4 to 10. It's been almost ready.
Yay, we got somebody.
Good.
Good morning, Linda Stewart.
All right.
Southern California.
Good morning, California.
And happy Memorial Day from Denise.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you very much. Happy Memorial Day to you, and I hope it's a special weekend. It's going to be a special weekend for us because on Tuesday after the holidays, supposedly the foundation for our new home is going to be started. And so it makes me want to cry. It's really been a journey since the end of August last year, and now we're so ready. We're so ready. But anyway, our drawing this time is going to be for the Raglan blouse by A Wink and a Nod. Cindy Foose and I collaborated on this and worked on this together. And so we have the pattern, and we're going to be the patterns are being printed right now for a distribution. And so we'll have them within, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, something like that. It's possible. Week and a half, 2 weeks. But I can't wait for you to see it. When I made it the first time, here's another picture of this precious little gal. Look at that. The first time I made it for my granddaughter Lila, let's see. Oh, here she is. Here she is. And it was for a fall photo shoot and at a place in Beach Island called Red Cliff Plantation. And I mean, it was so cute. She was adorable. I'm going to go to the overhead this will be with Facebook and YouTube.
Excited to hear the news about the house.
Thank
Happy
you.
For your progress.
Thank you.
Special occasion for you and Joe.
Yeah, it is special. I started a notebook where I'm going to write down everything that happens in a timeline with our house. And so happy to write that we signed a contract today with our builder, and the permit came in before we did all that. The permit came in, and so supposedly Tuesday, weather permitting, the foundations will start to be worked on. So let me go to this overhead and see if we can let you see this adorable blouse. With this, I think I had a little Venice flower by the yard that we put around the collar. I did. And she had little navy blue pants, and she looked adorable. And then the buttons were white with a navy blue ring. Now, in a class that Cindy taught, every single person made a different view. And this one was done like with a crop top, so it was shortened. I'll hold this up. This one is seersucker with trim, and that was shortened and made into a crop top with trim. Maybe rickrack. I think it's rickrack. Yeah, rickrack. Oh yeah, right here. And this one was done in linen. So this linen one is so beautiful. Right here it's kind of like a chambray linen. And that was also the crop top version. And this one was done in a really cute little floral print with seersucker shorts. And these are all the crop top version. And so they also can be made. This is a longer version right here in this picture. And in our kit, we gave a kit for the blouse in the longer version, so you can cut it however you want. And then we also had enough fabric for the shorts in seersucker to do it. This is a Peony Patterns Lilac, Lilac by Peony Patterns. It's a PDF pattern, and that is not included, but we give you the information for the Peony Patterns Lilac. And the difference in here that Dulcie did was that she put a little elastic around the legs to make it like a little bloomer. Is that not the cutest little gal you've ever seen? She's a doll. So anyway, we're going to have a drawing for that. And let me go back here. And that'll be at the end. So one thing that we've been working through a lot of vintage laces and antique laces, and I've just thought about how the colors of ecru have changed over the years. In all the years we've been in business, the popular ecru used to be a really dark color, and then it became lighter and lighter, and then the company Bare Threads had French laces that were, their ivories were very, very light ivory, and so that differed from champagne and ecru. So all of those, and then we have laces in all those ecru colors. So sometimes it's sort of hard to match an entire set, and sometimes if somebody wants a lot of pieces from one set, we will just then order the entire set all over again so that we can have exactly matching colors for you. So we try to make it work for your project. But anyway, there is everybody calls these laces, even though they're really embroideries, they're Swiss embroideries. And this is called a Swiss handloom. And now Bare Threads is a company that used to carry a lot of Swiss handlooms. I called, and they've retired, they're out of business. But I called Capital Imports this morning and talked to my friend Cindy, who's one of the owners, and she said that they don't have any, and I'm not sure if they're being made, but they do not have any. But the way that Swiss handlooms are made, I'm going to go to the overhead and show you. This looks like this actually looks like handwork. Can you see that? Looks like shadow embroidery on here. And the way that the Swiss handlooms were made, according to what I was reading, is that absolutely no mechanical, no machinery was used in creating it. Where did I printed that out somewhere? Well, anyway, it was all hand. I mean, it's not with a needle and thread hand done, but there was no machinery used in creating the Swiss handloom. I wonder if I can get close enough that you can see that this looks like shadow embroidery. I'm telling you, this is so gorgeous. Look at that. So if you can find this today, and I know in some stores it might still have some, this edging might be $70 a yard or more. And some places like on Etsy I saw they sell it by the quarter of a yard. And so it does add up. Even the insertions are going to be adding up to like $50 a yard or something like that, because they look like everything is hand done. This looks like shadow work, and this looks like a little hand bullions almost. Turn it over and you can see.
I think you could even zoom in a little more.
Oh, okay. Well, let me try that. This is the back. This is the back side. Let's see. I'm going real close, you guys. Let's see if we can do it. But you can see every little stitch back here. It looks like shadow work. So this is the wrong side. This is the right side. And it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. So I'm going to hold this up. Let's see. I'm going to hold this up here for Instagram to see. Let me see if you can see it. See it here.
Well, this is stunning.
It is. It's really beautiful, folks. And I wanted to show it because even though it's not available much anymore, it is available some. And you might be shopping at an estate sale or a thrift store, and you might come across something like this. In fact, there are, I saw on eBay, there are boxes of handkerchiefs, and they actually say Swiss handloom on the box that has never been opened. So if you find that, and you find it at a reasonable cost, that would be worth buying, because these are real special. They're hard to come by, and when you find them like at a store, super expensive.
Cindy said that's so pretty as an overlay on the blue blouse.
It is pretty on there. Yeah, this is what I did find my little write-up that I found in the online. Somebody said 100% Swiss cotton hand loom embroidered, and they were talking about the insertion. Hand looms are exactly as the name implies. They're loomed on a machine which is entirely hand powered. For example, there was no electricity used in the production. Beautiful quality. The detail is just exquisite. And Cindy from Capital Imports told me that when they made them, they were only made in 5-yard lengths. And they're 5-yard pieces done by hand. Really special if you find some. Now, here is another little insight from Capital Imports, because we were talking about how the over the years, the things that have disappeared that are really beautiful. And she said that the company in Switzerland that makes the finest Swiss organdy has closed down, and so they're not going to be able to get that finest Swiss cotton organdy. And she said, so that fabric, unless it's going to be picked up by another country, and we probably know which country would do it, but because they like to copy some of the beautiful things, that the very, very fine Swiss organdy might not continue to be available when everybody runs out of their stock. So we do have quite a bit of it right now, because we are able to find it sometimes from different vendors that may be bought from a clothing manufacturer, and I love it when we can do that. That's really fun. In fact, I meant to bring that down here. You know that fabric is a floral fabric with the eyelet in dark blue on the edge. It's brand new and it's made in Italy. We shipped some to a friend of ours who's a customer, and she sent me a link to the designer that used that fabric. And so I don't know if I can. We'll put a link to it. It's a beautiful floral with a border of blue, dark blue eyelet embroidery. And a dress from this fabric is like $550. A simple dress that's just the border around the hem, kind of, I hate to say peasant style if it's $550, But then it comes up here and it has a little bit of eyelet right up here around the neck, and then the gathered sleeve with some of that eyelet right here. And it's very, very simple. And so I was real excited to know who the designer was, because then I realized that several of our other fabrics, including this that we showed the other day, is also used by that same designer. So this is a sateen with a little stretch. Yeah, that's it. That I love. And this, a garment out of this, again, several $100s. So here we go. Now you tell me what you think. This is a single border fabric, cotton, made in Italy. And when I was first shown the picture by my vendor, I'm like, why would they put black? Why would they put black eyelet down here? Because it doesn't go with the rest of this. And he's like, well, I'm not making you buy it. I said, oh, all right, I'll buy one piece. And then I called him back and said, how much more do you have? Because I want to get it all. And he said, well, at least you're not cutting off your nose to spite your face, because you're starting to recognize something of quality. And it is very, very nice quality. It's just like, you know, it's like a designer to do something a little bit different than...
Fred said he digs it. It's beautiful.
Good. All right. This would be pretty wearing at the beach, Fred. Just your color.
I tell you what, we really loved it as soon as we saw that designer dress.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we saw that the dress sold for
We're like,
$550, I'm like,
It's so unique.
I think we need this fabric here. I think that we're going to get the rest of what he had. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. All of a sudden, I loved it a whole lot more. It's like, okay.
Is that black or navy?
This is navy.
Okay, they're calling it black on the comments.
I know, it looks like it would be black, and that's what I thought when I saw the picture.
But it's really a navy.
It's really a navy, but it still doesn't match.
Sue said that fabric is stunning.
It really is pretty. I'll go back a little bit. I'm on the overhead now with YouTube and Facebook.
You can see it more navy.
Can you see it
Close
navy?
up.
Yeah, it's navy. But I thought it was black when I saw the picture, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Why would they put black on there? And he's like, well, I don't know. I'm not making you buy it. You know, if you don't like it, okay. And so then when we got it in, we were like, okay, well, let's put it on. And then we saw what the designer's able to get for it, and we're like, oh, maybe it is nice. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, my customer that ordered it is a really classy person with really, really designer taste. And I thought, oh, look who ordered it. Okay, it must be good. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, so we love it.
Denise is asking how wide is it, because she's telling Fred she wants some of it.
Oh, all right. Well, let's just see.
56.
It's
And
50.
The
Oh,
border is approximately 16 inches.
oh, there we go. Emma's got it. It's 56 inches wide, and the border is approximately 16 inches. Yeah. Be very cool for this hot summer coming up. Very cool. Yeah. I do like it.
I think it's already hit us.
Summer has hit here for sure. We were at Andy's soccer tournament last night, and so little Andy is Kristen's second daughter, and Emma and her husband were there because Emma is married to Kristen's brother, and so it was a big family affair, and we were all dying. I mean, it's like, give me some more water, give me some more water. Even the little girls came up and said, can you pour some of that on me, you know, because it was really hot. But here we go. Yeah, my builder's company is my son. And he said, I think we're going to get an early start because we're going to be working in the summer. And we might be starting at 7 in the morning and working until 2. It's fine with me because that fits in my schedule perfectly. So, anyway, this is a beautiful one. This is so pretty, and I was going to use this in the pattern that I made Lila a dress. It was in our newsletter over this cute simplicity pattern which we carry, and I used this fabric right here. So she loved it. She wore it to church Sunday. Her sister Emma tried it on and she loved it, but Emma wants one to be T-length, and so I've been trying to work on finishing this up all week. So I have cut this one out for the redhead Emma, and she's like, "Oh, I love that fabric. I love that fabric." So this is the bodice, and so then it has these, like a big puffy sleeve here with elastic at each of the shoulder seams, and it has pockets in the side and a zipper in the back. So I'm real close. I'm close, but we'll have to have her try it on to get the right hem. Anyway, I'm kind of excited about that. She said, "I remember picking that fabric out one time. It's probably a long time ago, and I never got it going." But then we had just the right pattern. And so this Simplicity 9964 with the big puffy sleeves, and this is not too low in the front. In fact, with Lila, it seemed to kind of pull up a little bit, and so what I did was I went into the casing and opened up the casing, and I extended the elastic about 1.5 inches, and sewed the casing back together, and it just made it a little more comfortable. It hit maybe right about here, and so that was perfect. Anyway, that's what's going on in my sewing machine right now. All right. So that fabric, so we had on our newsletter a tale of two bodices, and I have them, and then I sewed a third one that I wanted. We were talking about when a pattern says, or even if it doesn't say, when you have a curved opening, like the armhole, the neckline, the neck opening, and here's the other armhole, it should say, if it doesn't say, it should say to trim your seam and clip the curves. And so we wrote about that in the newsletter, and I said, well, why did they say that? Why do they say that? And so I actually cut out some, and this one, this is an old pattern. Where is my pattern? It's a really cute pattern. This is McCall's 2201 in a size 3. Look at this. I'll go to the overhead so you can see how adorable this is. And I needed a bodice that had just an armhole all the way around and neck opening. So I took the bodice out of here. This is a sweet pattern. And I'm going to show on the overhead, turning it right side out, and then you can watch here on Instagram. So to turn this right side out, I already have sewn, and these are 5/8 inch seams. So most of your patterns, like Children's Corner, they have 1/4 inch seams. Bonnie Blue, I think, has 3/8 inch. I know our pattern, the Raglin blouse, has 3/8 inch seams. So you go by the recommended seam allowance for your garment. This was 5/8 inch. It's an older pattern, so I sewed it 5/8 inch, and I did not trim my seams or clip my curves. So I'm going to show you on here what happens if you don't do that. So turn it right side out by pulling the back through to the front, through that shoulder seam. You pull that back through.
Billy said she loved the clipping curve article.
Thank you. Thank you. That was actually kind of fun to do.
I was gonna say, do you want to mention the newsletter archive too?
Oh, tell me what we have it on our website.
Yeah. So if you miss a newsletter or you're not signed up, or you just recently signed up and would like to access past newsletters, we have a archive on our website. It's on the far right side of our website in gray, right below the search box.
Okay.
So you can click there and read past newsletters.
So, could you hear Emma? I mean, I think probably you could, but we do have a newsletter archive on our website on the front page, and so you can click there. It's on the far right side, and you can pull up some of the past newsletters. So here,
Thursday tidbits. It's not all newsletters.
oh,
just
it's Thursday.
tidbits.
Thursday tidbits. Okay, so here I've turned it right side out and tried to. Let's see. What do you think, folks? Looks pretty awful, doesn't it? You can't, like I could not go to the ironing board and iron this down. This looks so terrible. And actually,
Makes you feel good. But you don't do that.
I know, you might have seen a dress that might have looked like that and thinking, wonder what happened. So I pulled that back out, and because that obviously wasn't working. And so then on another one, but here what you can see is this is a shorter line than here. The seam allowance, this cut edge is actually a shorter measurement than the seam allowance, and it's way shorter than what you're turning it towards. So you've got to cut into this so that you can flip it back. I mean, actually you trim it first, but I'll just show you a little bit here. If you cut into this, then when you flip it back, it can turn, and then it gives you room to work. And so anyway, so what I did then with my second one was I took this one that was so horrible, and I trimmed that seam to about 1/4 of an inch, like this, like here. And then I went back and I just clipped. Now some of you have told me that you like to use pinking shears when you trim a seam that has to be turned, and I can see how that would work. And other people have said that they learned to do little V-cuts. I guess they would do this, little V-cuts in here. That would, I guess you'd have to get rid of all that little stuff. And so there are different ways of doing it, but actually what you're doing is you're trimming that seam and you're clipping the curve so that it can turn, and then when you turn it right side out, you get a nice flat ironing spot. But on this piece, and you can see it's still like icky, right? Can you see how icky this is? That's not pretty. It's better. It's better, but it's not pretty. On this piece, all I did was I just trimmed the seam to 1/4 of an inch. And you can see that still looks bad. It's like this is horrible, right? But it's not as horrible as this one.
So you trimmed, but you didn't.
I trimmed, but I didn't clip the curves. I didn't clip, and so it wasn't able to like spread out. And so, but this one, and this is really old fabric. It's so stiff and everything, but that's why it still looks a little wrinkly on the fabric. But this one, I trimmed my seam allowances. I clipped the curves, and when I turned it in right side out, I was able to press it nice and flat, and it looks so much more smooth around here and around the neckline. So it's a simple thing, but makes a big difference. I'll show you on here. Yep. here. They're clipped all around in here in a trim seam. And then you go to your magic iron. What's the matter? You go to your magic iron and you press it flat, and then you're good to go.
Sue says she learned that way to trim and clip 55 years ago.
That's good. That's good. Sometimes when I write this stuff, I think, oh man, people are going to be like, Sally, I know all that stuff. Don't be telling me that stuff.
But there's always someone that
But
does.
then a lot of people are new at sewing, and you know, some patterns don't tell you to do that. And so you, or if they tell you, you're like, I wonder why. I wonder why I have to do that, because a lot of times I'm a little bit like, I don't want to do that. Why do I have to take the time to do that? And so anyway, if you know it already, that's awesome. That's great. But that kind of takes me to, as a natural segue here, I was at Catholic Social Services one day last week or week before, and I went in and I thought, what is this thing? And what did Emma say? It looked like a pencil sharpener, or did Michelle say it looked like a pencil sharpener?
I did. I walked in. I was like, oh, it's a broken pencil sharpener.
Yeah, look at this. So here we have, this had a tag on it, and it said Vintage Singer. And sure enough, here's Singer right here. And I'm like, what in the world is that? This must have been wool felt, because it looks like the moths have gotten into it. See all those holes in there? But anyway, it said, it had on the tag, it said it's a vintage crimper. And I'm like, what is a crimper? And I saw this little blade that looked like it would make a little pleats or something right here. It's like, I thought, well, would it pinch up the fabric? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? See if you can see that little blade right here. Yeah. And it's got gears in the back. I mean, it's very mechanical, as you can tell. Very mechanical. And I thought, well, I might have to have this thing. I just might have to have this thing. And so I brought it home, and I thought, well, okay, you can adjust this. Why do you adjust this? It can go more narrow or more wide. And then just turn that screw to line it up. And I brought out this little piece of trim. And now I think when it originally came, and you can buy easily a clamp. This has a little clamp that would hold it to your tabletop like this. And so I put it up here, and I'm just starting to like, oh wow, look at that. Guess what? That,
Oh, it does both.
it pinks it. It makes it, so then I looked it up, and it said they call it a pinker or a crimper. But I don't know, I think a crimping is pinching stuff up. I don't think of it as doing a zigzag thing like this. But how cool is this? Isn't that neat? So, boom. And you could do it evenly. I love that. So cute. So, anyway.
Are you pulling the lace at the same time?
No, it actually will, let me get another piece of fabric around here. I know I've got some. Let's see. I think it just kind of winds it through. If I had a clamped on, you wouldn't have to hang on to it. But so I'm just going to put it here, and then just start winding. We'll see.
I wonder if you could try overhead, Sally.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
I wonder.
Let's go to the overhead and see. Okay, yeah, I'll bet you. Okay. What's it look like? Good?
Brent said Joe's going to get pink t-shirts soon.
I think so. But isn't that neat? Look at that. And I know that there are blades for your rotary cutter that do the same thing. But what a cool little thing. I'd never ever seen one, ever. And so look at that. How neat is that?
I think we're gonna have some people looking for it.
I know.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah.
What a fun find.
They have them on eBay, and they're way different and crazy prices. Some are up there, some are not. And like if you find one that isn't, you should buy it and resell it and make some money on it. So don't you like my sewing Lazy Susan here? Isn't this cool? We'll put some other things on here. Here's a pin cushion made out of a cup that I haven't finished yet. My little Lily of the Valley. This is a perfect Lazy Susan for your sewing table. Or maybe you decorate cakes. Well, we just happen to have this wonderful aluminum turntable by Attico, and we have quite a few of them because when we got all those things like the art supplies and the floss and the kits, the sewing kits and all of that, we did get some boxes of these turntables, and they are they're 12-inch aluminum revolving turntable. They sell on Amazon for $54, and we have them for $39. And they come in a nice box, which is this. So it's like, how are we going to turn this into a sewing product? This is totally a sewing product. Look at that. You put it on your table, you put all your junk up here, you have your cup holding your scissors and your marking pins, and
You need to decorate a cake, just leave it off.
yeah, that's right. Or buy one for a cake and buy one for your sewing table. So here you have a sewing Lazy Susan.
So Sally,
Yeah.
we've got a question from Amelia.
Yeah.
And she said, what is everybody using instead of Seams Great nowadays?
Well, that's a good question, Amelia. We actually have a product, and we can link it, that when I came across this little fabric, it's very similar to Seams Great. I think Seams Great might be thinner a little bit, but you can cut it crosswise, and when you stretch it, it curls like Seams Great does. And so it's very inexpensive, and you get a half a yard, you can rotary cut your strips and have enough for a long time. And Emma will put a link to it. But we sell a lot of it in place of Seams Great. I don't know why they quit making Seams Great. That was actually a wonderful.
Well, back to the turntable.
Okay.
Nona said the Attico products are very professional quality and fabulous.
Is that Nona?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nona would know. Thank you, Nona.
And then Barbara's got a question.
Okay.
She said, is that a dryer ball in the teacup?
That is a dryer ball in the teacup. That exactly, because guess what? It's wool, and I keep trying to decide. Or do I hate to really glue something in the bottom of my teacup? But then somebody told me about that sticky paste stuff, that they use in the museum. Of course, I bought a lot of it. I'm not sure where I put it. I know it's somewhere in this building. So that you could pull it out of there and actually use the teacup. You're not destroying it with, hot glue or something like that. But yeah, that's a dryer ball, because I bought a whole bunch of dryer balls. I have lots of vintage teacups. I was going to make pin cushions. And I have all of that wool roving in a million colors. And I have the needles for punching that wool roving down and turning that into something beautiful. Somebody needs to come and stay with me for a week and get me going on that, because that's a project that I have every single thing to make these beautiful wool pin cushions, except the what? The get up and go do it.
Motivation.
The motivation. I can't think of my words. My girls are my thesaurus these days. It's like, what word am I looking for? I have plenty of motivation when it comes to finding the individual products to make it. You know what? Other people do that too. I know they do. Buy everything you need to do a new craft, and then
Billy said, time! Exclamation point.
I know, just like I wanted to finish Emma's dress before.
You just got a lot going on.
I got a lot going. I do have a lot going on. At the beginning of this year, one of my goals was to sew the buttons on the back of a dress each week that have been hanging here for years. And I think about it every day. And then Sarah Ward will ask me every so often. She'll say, "How are you doing with those goals?" And I'm like, "Bad." I'm doing really bad. And so, but I appreciate people asking me because it does make you accountable. And so then it keeps me thinking. And so last weekend, I finished Lila's dress. I had everything hemmed. I had everything it needed. And then I grabbed, I finished that polka dot sateen. I made that dress for Farron, my granddaughter, and all the way finished. And then I grabbed some other dresses that would fit Farron and her little sister June. And I put all the buttons and buttonholes on those. And when I went to lunch at Nathan and Kristen's on Sunday, I had an armload of clothes that I had sewn the buttons and buttonholes. And the funny thing is, one of the dresses, it was a Lillian by Children's Corner, and it had graduated grosgrain, but pink and white gingham ribbons, three rows around the bottom with a bow. I had made that for Andy, the sister that was just in the soccer tournament when she was a little girl, like June size maybe, and she wore it in some pictures. And I remember I just had the back pinned together way back then, but now it's totally complete with buttons and buttonholes, and I even like fray checked the ends of the ribbons so they wouldn't fray, and attached them even better. And yeah, I think I did, I don't know, maybe 25 buttonholes and buttons.
Well, so
what?
Terry So said, I bought an ice cream machine after you talked about yours. And Terry, I will have you know that ice cream machine is sitting there and it has been untouched.
You know what?
She has browsed some recipes, though.
Yes, I have. And you know what? I was going to bring that ice cream machine out here today and say, okay, now we need some recipes, because I do have a little more motivation because Michelle wants me to get with it.
Yes, we've both been looking at recipes.
That's right. So that is a little bit better than me just doing it. But if you have one that is sugar-free that works really great, those are the kind that I'm hunting for right now, because I can find all kinds of really good-looking recipes that are loaded with sugar. But Michelle and I are trying to do some sugar-free things. So, but we're going to make them here at the shop and give it a try. Right?
Well, Carol says you can make kits for the pin cushions. Then you could do a tutorial or not.
I could do that. Can't believe the beautiful wool roving that I have. I ordered in bulk quantity every color that this lady made. It must be 50 colors or more. And every needle that she recommended. Yeah. What?
Sorry, I was reading one. Go ahead, and then I'll tell you.
So, yeah, I did that thinking, ooh, yes, we can do these. And then I was thinking like the bracelet, the wool pincushion bracelet with leather straps. I mean, I've got lots of pieces of leather, and I've got leather needles, and I've got the wool roving, and then you can roll up pieces of wool, like wool coating, and then cover it in the wool roving and punch it down with your needle and make it just the coolest little hot dog looking thing, and just Velcro to hook that on your wrist.
Well, so Terry So says she made some vanilla ice cream. It was delicious and added bananas as a mix-in. But then Billy Paris says she teaches ice cream classes and will gladly share recipes, including sugar-free.
Well, that sounds
Yay.
good. Yeah, no kidding, Billy. That
And
sounds
Abby Wilkinson, she's got a coconut milk ice cream recipe she's going to look for.
Oh,
good.
Yes, I've seen the coconut milk ones and they look so good.
That sounds awesome. Well, I know that my grandkids will be here a lot this summer, and when my son has them, during his weeks, they'll be here while he's at work, and so I'm thinking that, I mean, they're not going to want the sugar-free, but they're going to want me to be using that machine. Yeah, that machine is so cool looking. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know. What if this recipe isn't good? What? It's like so much indecision.
I almost bought stuff to bring and just say, okay, we're going to do it.
You
But
have
I
to.
didn't
You have to
yet.
be that bold. You have to be that bold. Absolutely.
I'm just scared that I'm going to bring the wrong one that not taste as good. So I want to.
Well, see, you're as
Only
bad as
one way
I.
to find out.
You're as bad as I am. No kidding. It's terrible. Man,
I
oh
want
man.
people to like me still here at work, and not like me.
Oh, everybody's gonna like you, Michelle.
I think any kind of ice cream gets you points.
Yeah. Well, I'm over here looking at two girls that are really good cooks, and Michelle comes down and heats up her lunch like from the night before, and you're like, oh man, that smells good. What do I have? A protein bar. Man, that just smells so good. And Emma, Emma makes everything from scratch, and her dressings are like, oh, they're so good. And I'm like, how did you do that? She said, well, you just mix a little of this and a little of that and a little dill and a little fresh this and a little, some things I've never heard of, but my goodness, very tasty. And she's a vegetarian, but her food is so flavorful, you would never miss the meat.
You gotta give tofu some flavor, or else I wouldn't be able to do
Yeah,
it.
that's right. The 1,000,001 ways to make tofu, right?
Mhm.
That is right. That's
Billy
right.
said, ladies sewing is far harder than making ice cream. And Sandra said, it's ice cream. How bad could it be? That's true.
All right, ladies.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it. But I think, I do like those Premier protein drinks, and I'm sure that I heard Catherine from Bringing Sewing Back say something about making it with a Premier protein drink and Greek yogurt. Am I right about that? I feel like she
see
said
that.
that. Yeah. And so so what you have to mix it up, and then you freeze it for 24 hours. And so you don't have to add ice and all that kind of stuff. And
The problem is we want it then.
that's what I was thinking.
Then
We
we
want
have
to
to
wait
wait.
24 hours to whip that stuff up, and then you have to split that can between. Like, this one's going to be mine. This is going to be mine. We pulled out some fabrics to show you. And we've been putting on, like, this came in and we're like, this isn't very exciting. Can you even, so you can see like very light flowers, and then we're like, oh, it was wound inside out. This is really cute. Look at that. So it's a woven stripe, and these look like hand painted. They look like painted flowers. They're printed flowers on a woven stripe, and this is Italian. I'll go to the overhead so you can see it a little bit better. This is so cute. What a great summer dress. What a great summer dress. So this is just on this week, new this week. And then was hunting for something in our, what we call our winding room. Our winding room is where we take our big rolls of fabric and we flip them around. Heidi does that, who works here, and wind them on a bolt. But this was already on a bolt. I thought, ooh, this is cute. I don't remember when we got it. But this is an eyelet knit. And it's like,
Yeah, we had that in a few colors.
we had this.
I
Oh,
believe
did we have
that's
some
the
bright
same one, or
colors?
it was very similar. We had a coral, maybe
Oh,
yellow.
girl. Yellow in a knit. Oh, I've forgotten all about that. But how beautiful is this? So, this is another, like, it could easily be a swimsuit cover-up. It could be, some kind of a top. But,
I bought some for a swimsuit cover.
oh, did you really?
Mm-hmm.
In a bright color?
I can't
For
remember if I
this.
bought the coral or not. I know I bought the
I
white.
love this. So this is really a little bit of an off-white. I don't know if we have it listed as white, but it's a little bit soft white. So cute. So cute. Totally machine washable. Easy care. Great for the summer. So that. And then Fabric Finders new prints just came in, and they're cute. And and they're small scale. They're little scale. So let's see, we can show you. This is I got a mermaid and under the sea kind of things, and I'll go to the overhead on that. So you can see there's a little mermaid and the little jellyfish, but the colors are pretty in this, and this is a nice scale for, I mean, honestly, if you were doing doll things even, this is a nice scale for dolls. This is so tiny, but sweet. It could be a smocked dress or something like that. And then we have the ladybugs. The ladybugs printed on red polka dots on a white background. Ladybugs. They're about 3/8 of an inch, I think. Something like that. Something along that line.
Mary says, yes, I've been waiting to see the new fabric.
Good, good. These are sweet. And then when this one came in, from a distance, we were like, what is this? What is this print? I thought it was toy soldiers at first, but this is a little fireman. So all those little kids that want to be firemen or firewomen when they grow up, you can make them something out of this. So here, and that, he's a tiny little guy. 3/4 of an inch maybe, something like that. A little cute little guy. Got a little fireman on the blue chambray. And then we have these called crawfish, red.
Just in time for summer.
Yeah, and they're tiny. On a pin dot background in a blue color. This is kind of a, I don't know, a dark turquoise teal looking blue color, but very, very good together. Really sweet.
Well, says my husband is a fireman. I need some for my son.
Oh, there you go. Actually, the fireman fabric has been really moving quickly. And so here's our flamingo beach scene here with all the pretty colors.
Yes.
The good kind of an aqua green, and then of course your little flamingo here. I guess they're about 3/4 of an inch. Little beach umbrella. It's not like that fabric last week that we couldn't decide what that was. It was a tulip. This is a beach umbrella, palm tree. Somebody told me when that fabric with what I said was a tulip, and my vendor said he thought it was a broom. Somebody else told me that it looked like a toilet plunger. I'm like, I don't want to put that anywhere that looked like a toilet plunger, but because I'm not sure anybody would want to wear that. Anyway, that's new.
Maybe a plumber's wife.
Well, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, that's true. So we're going to show a couple of embellished things that have been, because it's time to finish these. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we had a Gavin, Gush, and Lila. My granddaughter was here, and we put this on Lila, and we asked you to tell us what trim we should put around the waist. And so here we are with it pinned on, with it pinned shut, and no hem. So Lila never wore this, as you can tell, but it's time for me to put this on my pile to finish, put a hem in and buttons, and I'm thinking that little old Farron can wear this year maybe. But we do have this 3-dimensional embellished white fabric, and I liked it over the kind of a pinkish, mauvey pinky color, just to give it a tone. In fact, Laura Hilton did something similar when she did Wedding Week for Peony Patterns. She put her sheer fabric over 2 or 3 different colors to come out with kind of a soft pink shade, which you can do. You can change change the overall look by layering your sheer fabric over opaque fabrics or other sheer fabrics in different colors. But we do have this beautiful roses embellished fabric, and I think a little girl would think this is fun. And then this trim we sell by the yard, and it's got little rhinestones in it, and then the right shades of colors there.
We have that in 2 colorways.
Oh, the trim we do, right? Yep. And then
Oh, I take that back. 3. There's a pink and a green, and then an orchid color.
oh, good. This is a dress, like a christening gown that Connie Palmer made. And we love this netting fabric. So this is another sheer fabric, and I've used this many times. This, I believe it does. This has double border. So each side of this netting fabric has this embroidered border. And this is made in Spain. It's so pretty. And so Connie used the part of it as an overlay on the bodice right here. And then she made the little sleeve just out of the edging. And so we also have, I don't think we have this shade anymore, but this dress right here, this was a beach trip garment that I made all the granddaughters a dress, and this is a knit right here. The bodice is a knit, and so that was just pull over the head. This is pretty quick. And then the netting gathered up for the skirt. And I tried to make it real gathered, and I didn't gather it with the lining. I made the lining separate. This lining, I think, is a silk charmeuse. That had to feel good on somebody. But this has made it through a couple of girls and through the washing machine. And I know the other girls, they passed them down, and this is getting ready to be passed on to somebody else that it can fit. So with all these girls around here, they share their clothes, which is really neat. And this was a simple life pattern, but instead of opening it with buttons, because this is a stretchy knit, I just closed it and had a scoop back and sewed it to the skirt. So it's real simple. But the netting is available, and in white right now we have lots of white, and we have solid black that's available in that.
And it says beautiful dresses.
So,
And So Terry So asks, do you sew your knits garments on a serger or sewing machine?
Well, I don't do a whole lot of knits, but actually I've done it with both. And I'm always nervous about I don't want the seams to be popping, and I probably on the girls' dresses, I sewed it with a sewing machine and then I serged it. I don't know, you don't have to do that. Probably I do it the hard way. But I've never had anybody complain that everything popped open. But it does make me nervous. The one thing I did, and I need to pull it out because I made myself, I like to wear like sleeveless like tank tops and things underneath a shirt. And I've got a pattern, and I really got where I could make it in about 15 minutes. The time I cut it out and sewed it, I could do it in 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, you're so dumb, Sally. Where you go shopping and look for things when you can grab a piece of fabric and make that top in 15 minutes. But the problem is, here's a problem, because I don't have my washing machine here at my house. I have it where we're living temporarily. Then I have to think, I've got to cut a piece of fabric, take it with me tonight, wash it and dry it, bring it back, and then do it. Because I like to do things on the spur of the moment. And so then I think, well, I guess I just won't do it. Because if you don't wash knits, pre-wash knits, they can shrink. They can shrink definitely lengthwise. And so I don't want to make one and have it end up be I don't need any crop tops for my body. And so, anyway, that's what I do. So this week, one of our dearly sweet, loving, beloved employees that's been here for 7 years, Christy, we call her Christy G. Christy G is retiring, and she said, I'm going to give you a lot of time, though. And I said, well, what, like 1 year, 2 years? 2 years? Anyway, Christy G does all of our lace orders, and we're going to miss her so tremendously. I mean, she's just so good. Plus, she has the sweetest, sweetest heart. But you know what she wants to do, because she just wants to do this while she still has her health and has her mind. She wants to volunteer more for her church's ministries, and they have a real active ministry with the homeless in kind of in our general area. And she has been giving of her time a lot with the like their food, what do they call it? I want to say food bank, but she'll go and volunteer and put packages together and take them to people. But they have ministry to the elderly, they have ministry to the homeless, and so, you know, what can you say? All you can say is, we're going to miss you tremendously, is all we can say. We love her so much. But she said, I'm praying right now for my replacement. So while she's praying, you can pray. And we're trying to write up the advertisement for what we want. And I'm like, I find myself writing exactly what her personality is and what she's able to do. And I realize God has somebody in mind for us. And she's going to be special. But she won't be our Christy. And so, anyway, we're grateful for all the time that she gave us, and we're excited for what she has coming up in her future. But things are changing, and it happens, right? So,
Well, Billy says, thank you, Christy G.
That's right. She's awesome. She's my lace girl. So we have a giveaway. And this is everything you need for a kit to make the raglan. Here it is. To make this outfit, except the pattern for the shorts is not included, but the fabric is included, and the elastic, and the blouse fabric, and all of that. So here we go. We're gonna dig around in here. We have a lot of you are interested in this, and so you'll be the first one to get one of our patterns. All right, let's see what we have here. We have Lori Sweat Wyden, and she's telling her friend to check out Farmhouse Fabrics pattern, and they have beautiful fabrics too. And Lori, thank you very much. You are the winner. And you know what? I wanted to tell you that already we had some creeper that tried to contact everybody that gave their comments, and so don't pay any attention to that. You can let us know about it. We had people that told us that happened. They said, did you do this? And we were like, no. And when you win, we will contact you personally. We will not contact you like publicly on Facebook or Instagram.
We don't ask you to register and click any links.
That's right. We never ask you to click any links. That's right. Or give your credit card or register. So be really careful. People are awful, and we don't want you to be affected by that. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and have a wonderful weekend.